Good afternoon, Yuchen. Happy New Year.
Good afternoon, John. Happy New Year to you as well. I hope you had a nice Christmas break.
I did, thank you. Had a very relaxing Christmas and looking forward to 2023. And we're very fortunate and pretty honored to have you as our first CTO News Thursday recording for 2023. And, we're very keen to learn more about you, understand your journey from UCL into PwC and your current role as a data analytics manager. And if you can shed any light on the projects that you've worked on, plus what lies ahead for you in 2023, that would be fantastic. And I'm sure our audience will look forward to learning more about you and your role at PwC. So to begin with, Yuchen, please could you introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Yuchen. So I'm originally from China. I came to the UK for my master's and I started to work for PwC after I graduated. So I'm one of the managers in our innovation and data team within our digital audit team.
Brilliant. Excellent. Thanks for sharing. Great. So what has been your career journey to date? So you've mentioned UCL. So what has that been like, when you graduated from UCL in 2014 and 2015? What has been can you just talk us through that sort of journey that you went through to get from UCL into PwC?
Yeah, so when I was studying in UCL and we invited someone from PwC to do a presentation about, work in PwC. And after that presentation, I kind of just feel like, oh, PwC is a great company to work with. So after I finished my master, I started to look for jobs. And I was very lucky to get an offer to get into audit. So I joined the PwC Liverpool core audit. And after 2 years, Liverpool office was closed. So I got relocated to PwC Manchester core audit team. And then after 2.5 years, I got ACA qualified. And after that, I start to think what I really passionate about. So I was very lucky to start a journey called Digital Accelerator program. So I start to learn lots of the data tech analytics tools. And then I got a chance to speak to my current team leader. So at the end of 2020, I was able to successfully transfer from the core audit to our data team. So that's the team I'm working now. So that's pretty much like my journey between UCL and where I'm now.
Brilliant, brilliant. I think you landed in some really interesting and pretty nice places to work, whether it be Liverpool and Manchester. And it's just great that you've been able to further continue the passion that you have for data in the various environments, whether it be for the PwC Digital Accelerator Scheme that has enabled you to flourish in that environment. Brilliant. So Yuchen, please can you explain and share more about PwC's Digital Accelerator Scheme, please?
Yes, sure. So this scheme was launched back to 2019. So it's basically the firm trying to select people across different offices, across different departments, and they spend a lot of money to upskill those people. And those people can then go back to their local office, their local department to upskill people surrounding them. And that way will help the firm to do a more successful and more smoother digital transformation.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. I think that's what we're hearing and what we're seeing in the marketplace. Upskilling is a massive agenda for a number of organizations to further improve the sort of the productivity of teams. So absolutely understand, the sort of the premise there. And that really leads me to the next question from our previous conversations, which is, what is Digital Digest in PwC?
Yeah, so once I started this role, I got really, really excited because that's finally I can use my passion, like name the role, so I can actually make the role mine. So I start to think what activities I can do to help me to do this role well. So I did two main things. So in 2019, it's still before COVID, so we can still do some office-based activities. So I run 3 Ultrix in-person trainings in Manchester office by collaborating with other digital accelerators from other departments. So we upskilled more than 100 people across different departments like deals, audit, consulting in Manchester office. And then after 2020, no, I think it was still in 2019. I'm thinking, oh, I want to do more than just doing Manchester office. So we start to think about doing something virtually. So digital digest session is something we did. So it's basically a 30 minutes morning session. And within that session, we would like to demonstrate some easy to use tools PwC has to show people how to use those digital tools so they can learn it and use it on their day-to-day jobs. So we started with Manchester office, and then we expanded to the whole northern offices. And since I transferred to the data team, I started to demonstrate the data tools we have for audit testing. And I started to roll it up to the whole UK market. And every session, we have more than 100 people attend. And after that, we uploaded our recordings on the website so people can watch it afterwards as well. So it was a big success in terms of getting people to know what's available within PwC and get them to feel, oh, it's not too hard to use them. So that's Digital Digest I have been running since 2019.
Amazing, and congratulations, Yuchen. I think, that's a great, would it be, undertaking to not only follow your passions, but to follow your passion where it benefits the greater good of other people in terms of learning more about the tools that you potentially use in your departments, and to share that across PwC, starting whether it be in Manchester and then spread to the UK environment is absolutely amazing. Yeah. I think that's what's led to you being nominated for the award in last year. So yeah, that's really great, and congratulations, because I can imagine that took a lot of time and you had to get a lot of people on board. So congratulations once again. It's not an easy task to corral.
Yeah, I think the main challenge I faced was I think in 2019 people don't really get used to speaking virtually. Yes. So at the beginning, when I present, I feel like I'm just speaking to my laptop, to my screen. Yes. And I can't really, I only have one screen, so I can't really see people's reactions. Yes. So I was very nervous every time when I present. And after, presenting a few times, I feel I got the way how to do virtual meetings, how to engage people virtually. Yes. That was also a learning journey for me.
Excellent. And if you can share any tips, actually, that would be quite good. I mean, if you could just share one tip on this session, what would be one thing that you would give to someone who is possibly a bit shy or not too well versed in communicating virtually? What's one tip that you feel that could benefit them as they undertake their role, whether it be in any environment, but speaking digitally via web chats or Teams or in this type of environment?
Yeah, I think I have few tips. I think like any other presentations, right? In order to talk confidently, firstly, you need to know your topics, what you are talking about. I guess that's the first thing we need to make sure we have that for all the presentations. And secondly, I think we at the beginning of the session, I do encourage people to turn on their camera. Because if I see someone smiling at me, someone nodding their heads, that really boosts my confidence and make me feel like I'm delivering some messages to the people. Yeah, so and another thing I do is practice. So I think at the beginning, things are hard. But when you do a couple of times and you get some good feedback, bad feedback, you work on them and you will do better and better.
Excellent. So this is really good words of wisdom, Yuchen. Those 3 tips, which is A, make sure you know your audience, do your research. B, make sure you ask your audience to turn on their camera so you can see their reactions. And C, make sure you practice. Absolute words of wisdom there. And I'm sure
I guess another tip I can add in is when we do presentation, sometimes I have my team with me, they will definitely turn on their camera. So when I present, I just look at their faces. I just pretend I only present to my mini team and no one else in that meeting. That's also helped me at the beginning.
Yeah, understood. In essence, seeing a friendly face and just focusing on them.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Very good words of wisdom there. Thank you. Thanks for that.
No worries.
Excellent. Brilliant. So can you give examples of using automation to solve data challenges at PwC?
Yes, happy to do that. I think we have a lot of data solutions. So only myself, I'm working with 4 different solutions. So I'm happy to just pick 1 or 2 to give you example.
Absolutely
So
fine.
the first example I would like to talk about is data acquisition tool we have. So I remember when I first joined PwC, when we request journals data, we have to send an email to the client and tell them, can you download the data for us? So they will go ahead to download onto their laptop and they share it with us via email. And then we download to our laptop and then open up. And the issue is the quality of the data is usually bad. Sometimes they miss some lines. Sometimes the big is too big to share. And it takes time to go through all the manual procedures. So to solve that challenges, we developed this tool called data acquisition. So basically what we do is we understand the ERP systems, and then we share the scripts with the client. So they just need to run the scripts on their end, and then we will get the data on our server. Because all the data we get through that scripts, so the format, the structure are exactly same. So after we get the data, we can do a lot of analytics in a very automated and efficient way.
Yeah.
So that's one solution. Acquire data is always a challenge for a lot of the areas. So another solution I would like to share is called payroll solution. So I remember when I was associate, one of the financial statement line item I need to test is payroll. So it's always samples based. So we have pick lots of samples. So if the payroll cost is a huge balance, sometimes we pick more than hundreds of samples. So I have to request all the physical pay slips, contracts, any other supporting documents from the client, and they took them few days to get the documents for me, and then take me few days to check through them and do recalculations. So you can say there are a lot of pain points and time-consuming parts in that bit. So we developed this payroll solution. So it's basically we will use Alteryx to recalculate those key payroll elements for 100% of your employees and across 12 periods. So it's not sample-based anymore. We actually cover a much higher coverage. So you can say the quality of our audit work has improved significantly. So we calculate, for example, we can recalculate your PAYE, your income tax, your national insurance, your pension, etc., etc. Because we request a lot of data, on the top of that, we can also do a lot of risk assessments. For example, we can identify whether there are any ghost employees, so someone who never taking holidays, or we can identify any duplicated employees. We can also check whether someone got paid after they left the business, etc., etc. So by using the data solutions, it increased the coverage, the quality of the work we do, and also gave us more insights we can feed back to the clients.
Brilliant, brilliant. One of the vlogs that we've recorded was with a chap by the name of David Bridler, who is the CTO for an organization called Blue Dot. And they are looking at sort of tax tech, whether it be compliance, and they have an environment where they are utilizing the use of AI and ML to look at, understanding. So say, for example, if you gather all the receipts on a, the receipts on a given month from your staff members, to try and pinpoint, and use AI and ML to further calculate the tax that could be rebated back to the organization. But that's a massive challenge, and they're using AI and ML to solve that. And that sounds similar to what you've explained, where PwC in essence are using data tools to try to, whether it be further understand whether it be sort of
like
business requirements that an organization needs to be aware of when it comes to due diligence around whether it be financial statements or tax, etc.
Yeah.
It's really looking at the compliance element there. So yeah, that's understood. Brilliant. Okay. Can you please, now this is quite an interesting statement here, because in our previous conversations, we've talked about technology can change the world. Please, can you shed light on that statement and just to give us a bit more on that?
Yeah, so this one is interesting because when I went to UCL, I was in the EEE department. And this statement is literally just on the wall when we enter the building, and that's something I truly believe in as well. And so for me, I feel like technology is constantly changing and developing and providing solutions both to problems in our day-to-day lives, but also to meet some of the great challenges facing our society. I remember when I first joined PwC. As associate, very junior team member, one of my tasks I need to do is to go through hundreds of invoices, like note down the invoice informations to an Excel spreadsheet. So for example, I have to say what's the invoice date, what's the invoice number, what's the invoice amount, and then I have to manually note down in the Excel sheet. As you can imagine, it sounds a very boring and repetitive task to do. But that's really a few years ago, that's we ask people to do. But nowadays, we have the technology to actually extract information from PDF in a much more automated way. So it can scan hundreds of invoices within a few minutes. All I need to do is upload all the invoices to the platform and then click a button, and all the information I need will be laid out clearly in a spreadsheet. So you can see how this technology change auditors' life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see this really makes our life much more enjoyable and easier, and we can focus on more interesting and judgmental areas. Yeah. So the quality of our work has been, significantly improved by using technologies.
Absolutely. Do you sometimes feel, and thanks for sharing, do you sometimes feel that some of these technologies have been around for a long time? It's just that they've been used to solve different use cases or business cases for organizations?
Yeah, I definitely feel like that. Definitely, like there are some technology, they are there, and sometimes people are not aware. And then with the time, people start to use those technology to solve their specific problems with some tweaks.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Okay, so is
yeah, I guess I have few sentences to add on this. I think there's another great example in terms of how technology changes the world. For audit, we need to do stock count. And for coal industry, it's very difficult for someone just walk around the coal and just say, oh, this is how much the coal we have. So we for PwC, we use drones to do the stock count for coal industry. Yeah, we use drones to do the stock count. And that's really gave good insights to the client as well as our work quality. That's also a very great example.
So Yuchen, please can you talk about the importance of building internal business relationships and collaboration with a social housing organization?
Cool. So I guess before I answer it, I need to clarify. When you say internal relation, do you say the relation you build with your team you work with? Or
internal that you build with your team.
Or is that with wider departments, like different departments?
So it's however you best have. I'll leave that up to you. You can you can answer that however you feel best. So whether it be internal, so I'm talking, well, when I say building internal business relationships, I'm really talking about, your team members, your peers whether it be within your department as well as other business departments?
Okay, yeah, I'm happy to. Yeah, thank you, John, for the question. I think for this question, for me, the big point for collaborating with people from different departments is to gain understand what they do. So I have a great example here. So before I started my digital accelerator journey, I was purely doing audit, and I feel like everything I do is related audit, and PwC only does audit. And then I went to that digital accelerator program kickoff event, and I met lots of people from different departments. I was so amazed. I never imagined how much different things PwC does. And I started to speak to them and to understand what they do. And that really interests me. And I also feel like, PwC is such a big platform, right? If you are bored of this, you can learn something different. You can transfer to a different department. You can learn something new. And I realized, PwC is really a big organization, and people surrounding the world, surrounding UK, are doing lots of different things. So that's really make me feel like, I can learn so much within this organization. So I feel like building that relationship, speaking to people, build that connection, really help to understand widely what other people are doing, what the firm is doing, and that can help you to shape your own future career. So that's one point. And in terms of building collaboration or relationship with the teams you work with, that's even more and more important, because those are the people you work with on a daily basis. So for example, I'm a people person, and I love building relationship with people even outside of work. So for my team, when I first joined the team, I didn't know anyone, and I have to really make friends with people I work with. So sometimes I just set up a 15 minutes non-work related meeting with them just to get to know each other, right? And that's really helped me to work with them. They trust me, I trust them more, and that really makes the work much more enjoyable. And also, I love organizing events. Outside of work, I take them to try great Chinese food in Chinatown, and people all love food. In that kind of environment, people feel relaxed, and they can talk. We can talk whatever we want. And once you build that trustful relationship with the people you work with, you feel your day-to-day work is more reliable. You rely on you lean in on people you work with, and you trust them, they can deliver the work. And for people who are more junior, they trust you, so they can be more honest with me and tell me their concerns, what they would like to do. So in that way, I can help them as well. So I think, building collaboration, building relations with people is the key, because we are a society. We are people society. We are all people. So we are not only talking about to get the work done, right? It's more about people, how you impact people, how you influence people, how you make a positive impact to people surrounding you, and build that friendship with your colleagues.
Brilliant. I think PwC have absolutely found a firecracker within you as being an initiator for whether it be building relationships and collaboration, because that's exactly what it's about. It's about, we always say at IT Labs that we are a people company. We just happen to be working in technology. And I believe that that's the same sort of premise that you operate within at PwC. And it's just great to see and hear, the sort of the examples that you shared.
Yeah, definitely. I think the culture for PwC is great. Like every people say, the best thing about this company is people, and people make friends with colleagues. Like usually people want to or don't want to. Usually people don't want to make friends with their colleagues. Mm-hmm. But PwC is very different. We love making friends with our colleagues, with our team, and for me, I found like sisters at work. We really talk to each other. We really hang out with each other. And even one day, if someone left the firm, we are still friends. the friendship we build through work is long lasting. That's something I really appreciate.
Yeah. I can, you know, I can absolutely agree with you on that. And I have some experience, whether it be in the sort of in the business world, but in my previous environment within sport. You know, there's great camaraderie via the rugby environment that I've been involved with. So I can understand that translates to work as well. So great to hear. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, I think, John, another thing I would add on is, you know, after you building that collection, after you understand what other people do, what you get is opportunities, right? You talk to people and they will tell you, for example, our team, we are hiring people. That's how you get the opportunity and grab it. So building collaboration, collaborate with people, building relationships will help you to get more opportunities.
Brilliant. Absolutely. Opportunities is always the way. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So, Yuchen, what is her tech talent and what is TechWeCan?
Cool. I'm happy to answer this question. So her tech talent basically aims to help make technology a more diverse and inclusive working environment, and for women to be equal participants in creating and developing new tech products and services that shape our world. As I mentioned in our last conversation, you know, I organized her Tech Woman kickoff event at the end of 2022. So basically what we did is we brought women in our team into PwC London office, and we had a full-day event. And on that day, we invited a few partners and directors to share their tech journey. I also shared my journey with the team. And then we had some lean sessions to talk about some key topics related to women. And we also arranged some icebreakers to get people to know each other. So as you can see, it's really a platform. We're trying to create a community for us to support each other and learn each other and develop skills together. So that's pretty much her tech talent, really just support women in the technology environment and make sure this is a diverse and inclusive environment. And in terms of TechWeekend, so TechWeekend is a program of free learning materials for use by teachers or parents to inspire both boys and girls about a future career in technology. So the mission of TechWeekend is to inspire more children, particularly girls, to see the possibility that a job in technology can bring. So we want them to, we want the girls to study technology and choose to work in technology industry. So this scheme was created by a partner within PwC. So for me, I'm kind of like, I can, if I want to do a session, so for me, we can actually sign up this program, and I can go to the local schools and deliver, for example, a tech demo session to the young girls and make them feel like they can also work in a technology industry. And this scheme was created by funded by a partner from PwC. And I went to their event. It was really good. So I'm thinking I can bring a woman in digital audit team and sign up this scheme, and we can really make impact on the girls in our local community.
Brilliant. Really great to hear. You know, we, like you, we are advocates of, you know, women in tech. And I think, you know, there is a lot about, you know, talking the talk, which is, you know, what we want to do, what you'd like to do. And it's just great to see you actually living it and embracing it by actually going into the community and engaging with school children and basically demonstrating, especially to women or to children or to girls, should I say, that they, you know, there is an absolute place for them in technology, and you're a living proof of it.
Definitely.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so who inspires you and what lies ahead for you in 2023?
Right. Who inspires me? It's a very good question. I don't have a big famous person, but along my journey, there are quite a few people who left a big impression on me and really inspired me. I think the first person I would like to talk about is my dad. So when I was in primary school, my grades were not really good. And I was always classified as naughty student by the teacher since I talked too much in the class. So the teacher had to have multiple conversations with my dad, basically call my dad and ask him to come to the primary school and make sure I behave better and don't interrupt the classes. So for my dad, instead of being like angry and came back home, punish me, like my dad actually took a very encouraging approach. So firstly, when he had the conversation with the teacher, he basically told the teacher that the grades are not important at this stage for me and my daughter's future development, right? I want you to make sure you protect her initiative and motivation to learn. So that's the sentence my dad told the teacher. And he also told the teacher at on another side, I will try my best to help my teacher to get up to beat with her study. So that's what my dad did that. And when he came back home, what he did is he always told me, no matter how the conversation went with the teacher, it's probably very negative. But every time when he talked to me, he always talk about positive stuff, like what have done better compared to last time, and what I should continue to do. I think the way my dad educates me really makes a big impact on me. He makes me to be a self believer and have that inner confidence and really make me a very strong and confident person. And I believe in what I believe in what I can do, what is my capability. So my dad is really my hero and really makes me a good person. And along my journey, when I first came to the UK, my English was not great, really. When I first arrived at the airport, I tried to talk to people, but after, I'm fine, thank you, how are you, and you? I'm lost. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know how to react. That's how bad my listening and speaking was. And so I had my English teacher. So I did my language course in London before I entered UCL. The teacher was really, really patient and really, really encouraged me every time I make some improvement. And I feel really appreciate about all the effort she put in to help me to improve my English. So after a few months, I successfully passed my language tests and entered UCL and started my master. So I still remember her, and sometimes I reach out to her to ask how she is. And when I first joined PwC, I'm lucky. I'm always lucky, and I had a really, really good career coach. And she is also from another country, and she also came here for study and started work in the UK. So she completely understands my situation and help me wherever she could for both work-related stuff and life-related things. I remember in the first 2 years, I had to go through my ACA qualification. So I had to go through 15 exams. And that is completely new to me because I didn't study accounting in uni. I studied telecommunications in university. So I was very, very scared, very, very stressed. And one time I failed the exam. And for PwC, for all the big four, if you failed exam like more than 2 times, you get fired, you lose your job. So I was consistently have a fear like I might lose my job and be sent back to China. And my career coach was really, really supportive through this journey. And she told when I failed my exam, like I cried everywhere in the office, on the street. I just feels like I'm so helpless. I couldn't get through this. And she held my hand, gave me hugs, and told me, don't worry about this, Yuchen. After a few years, when you look back on this thing, this is a very tiny spot. You will definitely get through it. So she really helped me to get through the first 2 years when I first joined PwC. And after my career coach, I think another person I have to mention is Emma. So she is my current leader in the data team. So before I transferred to data team, I had a conversation with her. So I had a conversation with her, and I was very worried because I didn't have too much technology capabilities. And she said to me, this team, we always work as a team, and everyone has the strengths to play. We need people who are very technical and good at data analytics. We also need people who are good at communicating with people, project management, and have audit knowledge. So she really encouraged me and inspired me to take the step to transfer to a new team. And she also shared her technology journey, how she learned all the new things along her journey. And that really encouraged me to learn something new and find my own place in the new team. So I feel really appreciate. Those are the few people who left a big impression on me, but there are so many people who helped me through this journey to get to where I am now. So I feel very lucky and appreciated.
Brilliant. Really, that's fantastic to hear. And if I can just briefly summarize what you just said, I've understood that your father, he had the vision and the wisdom to suggest that, the goal is not necessarily the destination, it's about the journey. So let's just focus on the journey, and the destination will get there. Basically, you'll get there. And then with regards to your English teacher or your language coach, she gave you sort of patience, and your sort of whether it be mentor, that from what I've understood, sort of gave you that emotional support, just to give you that sort of it's not, if you make a mistake, it's not just about, you can learn from it. But then I think that where you are currently, and the lady you just mentioned, I believe her name is Emma, that's the leadership. That's the leadership. And I think if you go back to the beginning, not that I can say this, but it sounds as though that your father had the idea that let's just get her on the train, let's get her to learn, and the right leadership will give her the direction. And in essence, that's the fruition of what you're seeing, from what I've understood, because you've taken up things on your own initiative, you've participated, you're a team player, and you've won an award, for technology, so for IT. So, it just shows that your father's wisdom and vision came to fruition, and I'm sure it's going to springboard into various other environments as well. So great, it's a great piece of insight into you and your family and your working environment, and thanks for sharing that with us. Excellent. Okay, that's all right. So what do you do to stay current with technology?
So for this question, so I think I'm lucky to be in a very good team. So we normally, so for our team, we usually organize some learning sessions. So we call it like long-term learn sessions. So it's only 30 minutes, and the people will come along, and some people will share the new cool technologies with the rest of team for us to stay current with technology. And outside of work, I read those tech blogs and talk to people about what they do, and that's really how I keep current. Just keep learning, keep understanding what other people are doing, what other spaces are doing, and reflect how you can do our work better by using technologies.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely. The sort of the continuous learning element is absolutely the way to go to stay current with technology. Okay. And with that being said, then what technology most interests you? Whether it be from AI, ML, etc., what sort of what technology that you sort of focused on?
So I would actually recommend a data analytics tool I use on a daily basis. It's Ultrix. So I found Ultrix is very, very easy to use. So if it's much easier than learning SQL or Python, anyone who are not from a tech background can pick up Ultrix within few days. And it's so easy to use to transfer data and in a very quick way and efficient way. And the good thing is the workflow you build up is reusable. So if you build a solution, you can package it up, and then you can turn it into a click button solution and share with the rest of team. And the Ultrix can work with multiple databases to make your life much easier. And it also has ability to add R or Python codes directly within your workflow. So I'm a big fan of Ultrix, and we use Ultrix on almost everything we do at work. And yeah, so that's the technology I'm really passionate about and keep learning as well.
Excellent. Actually, no, I've never come across Ultrix, but I will absolutely do so once we've finished our meeting and our blog recording. Absolutely, I will learn about that, and I'll come back to you because I'm sure I have some questions, so if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right. So, what is your superpower? It sounds as though you've got many. However, what would be your main superpower that you'd like to share?
Yeah, again, this is another quite interesting question. So I had to think about it. So I would say I have the power to actualize the future, and I usually have a clear vision of my future, what I want to do, and I work hard to make it happen. So there are two aspects on this. So I have a habit. So when I'm walking, like for example, swimming or doing something by myself, I love thinking about or dreaming about good things which I wish to happen in the future. So for example, when I was in UCL, when I was applying for jobs, I go to swimming every day to keep myself fit and energized. So every time I was swimming, I would dream about myself working in a big company like PwC and have a laugh with my colleagues, and it actually happened. So I think thinking positively and believing in yourself really amazing and actually can change your life. If you always think about bad things which might happen in your life, or you always thought to yourself, oh, I don't think I can do this, I'm afraid of doing this, it also have an impact on what might happen in the future. So that's something I think everyone should do. Think about things positively, think about good things which you want to happen in your life, and really believe that you can do it, and it will actually change your life. And another aspect is, I'm always able to have a clear vision about what I would like to achieve in life and also at work. And I'm able to communicate my vision to the team and make them to feel they belong to, they also belong to those vision, and then get them to buy in and also make them feel motivated. After that, we can work together as a team and to actually achieve it. So that's kind of my superpower in my mind.
Excellent. Do you know, you should give it an acronym, and an acronym could be AVC: actualization, visualization, communication, because that is
wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, that is that's what I've understood that you've shared, and they're very, very great superpowers, and they're very, very great, whether it be people skills to learn, whether it be soft skills, hard skills, whatever you want to class it as, but they're absolutely needed in today's environment. So yeah, it's great to hear you share that, because I'm sure there are others who think like that, or there are others that could benefit from having another type of mindset to consider in their day-to-day environments, whether it be in work or outside of work. So once again, thanks for sharing, Yuchen. All right.
No worries at all.
So my final question, Yuchen, is what do you do outside of work, And what do you do in your spare time? I.e., do you like music, dancing, travel? You've got the Chinese New Year coming along. So what's
Yeah.
your social side look like?
Right. Yeah. So I like to keep myself very busy outside of work as well. The biggest part I do is I'm running a Chinese community in Northwest, mainly in Manchester. So this community is called Eastern Blossoms Manchester, and it aims to bring young professionals together. So they are from similar background, maybe from mainland of China, or they were born in the UK, and we share the similar culture, and we build up this platform for them to communicate with each other and share experience. So this community, I have been running this since 2019. And then we have been organizing lots of, like, more than 10 events every year, including some virtual events we did during lockdown. And we have more than 500 team members as well. Yeah, so that's kind of the big part of my my life outside of my work. So for this organization, we tend to run monthly events, and we do a very wide range of events. For example, we do some professional development events, and we do some learning something new events. For example, learning a new skill, do a painting event. We also do some Chinese festival celebrations events, some hiking events, etc., etc. So the Chinese New Year event is coming up. So I'm actually quite busy with organizing a big event for that. So that's going to be something I will be busy with in the next few weeks. I guess the main reason why I want to do this is I just love bringing people together and building connections among people, and have a positive impact on people surrounding me. I strongly believe, a sense of belonging are extremely important for people's mental health, and boost people's confidence, especially for people, who are working in a foreign country and speak a second language. So I want to do something to help people, to perform better at their work space, and really help people. I guess apart from that, I love music. I started to learn flute when I was 8 years old, and when I went to high school, I stopped it because of the long study hours, and I picked it up recently. So I start to play flutes outside of work, to release stress and to express myself. I also take lessons regularly. I also started to learn piano recently. I took my first piano lesson at the end of last year. So I want to keep it up in the new year. Yeah, apart from that, I also started to travel more, especially after lockdown. I appreciate traveling more. So in 2022, I visited a lot of countries. So we went to Bordeaux in France, and visited Halkidiki in Greece, and Milan in Italy, and visited multiple cities in Norway and Sweden. So I just feel like traveling is a great way and to help you to learn different cultures and meet local people there, to really make yourself richer by spending money on traveling. So I love traveling, and occasionally I also dancing and do ice skating. So as I said, I really try to keep myself busy, and do a lot of different things.
Amazing. And you've got, I mean, that is a packed events calendar that you have there. So yeah, congrats to you, because that's that is quite a lot of activities, and it's just great to see that
Yeah.
you have the passion to sort of take your whether it be your ways of working, into your social environment that enables you to, interact with, as you say, your passion is to bring people together and interact in that type of environment via your Eastern Blossoms group, or, doing your ice skating, or, whatever activity that you do. So amazing. Well, Yuchen, absolutely, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. We CTO News Thursdays wishes you every success in your future, and we look forward to seeing you at the top of the table in a very, very short space of time.
Thank you so much, John.
Yeah, no, it's been really a pleasure speaking with you, and I'm sure that if you've got any questions, I'm sure. Well, the question is, can we come back to you if some of the audience would like to find out more about PwC or the Digital Accelerator Program, or the Tech We Can, etc. I'm sure they'd like to find out more. But let me hand over to you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely happy to answer any further follow-up questions, and happy to help.
Brilliant, excellent. Well, CTO News Thursdays wishes you a successful and prosperous 2023, and we look forward to following your journey in the near future.
Yeah, thank you so much, John. It was great pleasure to speak to you as well.
Thank you. All right. Have a great day. Thank you, Yuchen.